So, for anyone who has kept up with the Teen Mom universe, they'd know that Caitlyn and Tyler Baltierra have admitted to texting what they believed were minors, though they're now claiming they knew the interactions were fake all along and only replied in case they were true because they were concerned for Carly, the child they gave up for adoption. But it's a new day, and with a new day, more texts have surfaced. And this time, something Tyler has said has piqued the curiosity of many people. According to Tyler, the adoption agent they were working with, who goes by Dawn, was telling Tyler and Caitlyn information that she allegedly was not supposed to be sharing with Carly's biological parents, because evidently Carly's parents had asked her not to divulge too much information about Carly to Tyler and Caitlyn. But here's what Tyler let slip. In a text message to an alleged minor that is a friend of Carly, the child that Tyler and Caitlyn placed up for adoption, Tyler wrote, quote, "I did hear from Dawn that people found her blank account, and that made me sad for her." End quote. To which the alleged minor replied with, quote, "Dawn told you details about the party? That's sad." End quote. In another set of texts, the alleged minor wrote, quote, "Why would Dawn tell you anything about her blank account? She doesn't even know that you guys know about that. That makes no sense." End quote. Tyler then replied with, quote, "The agency only gives us what B and T allow. I don't know. She just randomly said that T was upset about some Facebook page posting a pic from it, and getting a pic of her on her B-Day every year for 18 years was also something that B and T agreed to. But, like I said, I don't want one if Carly doesn't want me to have one." End quote. The alleged minor then replied with, quote, "I'm sorry, but I find it very hard to believe that Dawn randomly mentions her blank account, if you're not even getting your pictures anymore." End quote. In reply to this, Tyler writes, quote, "I would send you a screenshot of what she said, but I can't do it on here." End quote. Tyler then sends a quote allegedly from Dawn, which reads, quote, "Carly had a BD party with 22 of her girlfriends last night. Boyfriend came over to watch golf tournament with the family. Family dinner tomorrow after church, and neighborhood cul-de-sac happy hour gathering tomorrow evening to celebrate her 16th BD." Another one of Carly's pictures was posted on the Teen Mom fan page yesterday. T said it was stolen from her blank account. Not sure what that is. End quote. Now, if this is true, and this quote came directly from Dawn, then that's a lot of information that Dawn is sharing with the Baltierras about Carly against her parents' wishes. Not only did she share what Carly did, but she shared what Carly was going to do, which was giving Caitlyn and Tyler way more information than was necessary or needed, especially since Dawn knows that Carly's parents wouldn't like the Baltierras knowing so much. Tyler then wrote, quote, "That's what she said." End quote. The alleged minor then wrote, quote, "Can you send the screenshot on Insta?" End quote. The alleged minor then sent a question mark when Tyler didn't reply. Tyler then wrote, quote, "I just copied and pasted it. It's easier LOL." End quote. The alleged minor then replied with, quote, "Since you suggested yourself that you would send a screenshot if you could, it's weird that you won't do it now. But good luck with whoever you're talking to. I hope it doesn't end up hurting Carly." End quote. Tyler then wrote, quote, "What are you talking about? The only person I'm talking to is Dawn, and I literally copied and pasted what she said." End quote. The alleged minor then replied with, quote, "It's possible to write whatever and just claim it's copied and pasted from a certain person. Why not just screenshot and prove that's what she actually said?" End quote. Tyler then replied with, quote, "Okay, now, I'm super confused on why you're so adamant on a specific screenshot. Do you still not trust me? I'll be honest though, I'm not really interested in having to keep proving myself to you. I've literally done nothing but be upfront, honest, and transparent this whole time." End quote. Tyler then added, quote, "She says some other things I'm not sure is beneficial or necessary for you to see, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Why would anything Dawn says to us hurt Carly?" End quote. So whether it's true or not, we suppose only Carly's parents would know if what was reported is what actually happened. And if that's the case, it looks like Dawn might be sharing more than Carly's parents have asked her to, which both Tyler and Caitlin have alluded to before, which makes it seem like Dawn might be playing both sides of the fence. Which is interesting since on the Teen Mom show itself, Dawn has always appeared to be fighting in Carly's parents' favor. She frequently sides with Brandon and Teresa and hasn't been afraid to tell Tyler and Caitlin when they were wrong or how they come across. Now, there's been debate about whether or not the alleged minors that Caitlin and Tyler were speaking to were actually minors, with many people believing that the two were just being catfished, which Tyler and Caitlin also claim that they were. However, this alleged minor from these texts is supposedly a friend of Carly's that Caitlin and Tyler were able to verify was real. Allegedly. What we find interesting, however, is this person often comes off as someone more attached or in the know of the situation than Carly's friend would be. Now, let us be clear. Regardless of whether this person is actually a minor or a catfish, Caitlin and Tyler are still in the wrong, because they believe they were talking to a minor and were completely fine with it, and were inappropriate. That said, we don't know if we personally believe that this person was a minor. They come off more like an adult who is involved in the situation, who is getting intel. The reason we say that is because throughout the texts, this person seems very affected by information being received, like this Dawn information that they were getting upset about. Why would a random teenage friend of Carly's become so upset by Dawn potentially betraying Carly's parents? How would this teenager even know of Dawn? Regardless, whether she is who she says she is or not, it wasn't right for Caitlin and Tyler to be engaging with anyone behind Carly's parents' backs. That's clearly an issue, as is the fact that they're apparently comfortable with talking to minors. Now, it's also not okay if Dawn is feeding the couple information that Carly's parents don't want them to have. It's a window into their lives that they're likely uncomfortable with, which we're sure will change once the parents become aware of Dawn's involvement in this fiasco. Caitlin and Tyler have been interviewed recently regarding this entire subject, and that interview is expected to be dropped soon. So, we'll definitely be tuning in for that, and maybe even reacting to it. We know that the only things they've really said so far is that the texts are real, and that they were being catfished by two people, which is them now claiming that the person they supposedly verified was a real minor is now also fake, according to them. But we'll see what else they have to say when the interview drops. All we know right now is that these two don't know how to stay in their lane and have some very odd and concerning behaviors. In no world is it ever okay for two adults to be interacting with minors and sharing their adult problems with them, and telling them to sneak around behind other adults' backs to help them. It's alarming and it's not okay. Whoever was behind the messages doesn't matter, because what matters is that Tyler and Caitlin believed that they were talking to a minor and were completely okay with it, and were completely comfortable encouraging them to rebel against their parents and do things behind their backs. And that's not okay in any capacity.